Alright, White Boy Summer is coming to its cinematic closing, and I saw this clip while scrolling today. The two relate, trust me, just check it out.
White Boy says, I had to wait in line at Starbucks today, so I know about oppression.
Before this individual continues, for context, this is slam poetry. It's apparently poetry, but it's more like a diss track, but there's no beat, no rhythm or anything, and these people would literally not last a day in the rap game. Not saying I would either. I mean, I'm built for Fortnite, I'm built for YouTube commentary, but this specifically is just like for disgruntled people who are disenfranchised by the everyday happenings of life, and basically use the open mic as like a group therapy session. Specifically to talk about things that are so ridiculous and have no place in therapy, like racial grudges, which is what this person's getting at off her chest. This slam poetry specifically is about white boys, I guess. The caption says, I wonder who the white boy was that rejected her.
White Boy says, I had to wait in line at Starbucks today, so I know about oppression.
No white person, not even like the whitest person you know. Like if Mr. Beast released his seed into Casper the Ghost, there wouldn't even be, like that son wouldn't even complain about Starbucks lines being too long. I get the notion like, oh, white people have it so easy, you know, we're kind of goofy. The hardest thing that happens in our day-to-day life is like our khakis go past our knees or something. I get it, or like the putter was inimedial for the last hole. We should have used a different golf club. Right, I get it. Dunking on white people is fine, but you can tell this person is genuinely so bitter, and it's just strange.
White Boy retweets NPR and watches Jeopardy for fun. White Boy won't admit it, but he likes it when you get the answer wrong. Likes the feeling of knowing just a little bit more than you do.
Doesn't everyone like that feeling? When you're playing Jeopardy with your retarded friends, and then they're asked the most basic question, let's do geography for 500. This is the capital of the United States. And then you say Washington, D.C., and then you're like brain dead friend says something like Hershey Park, and then obviously you get that moment of feeling like you're the top dog. Why is that a racial thing now? Why is enjoying Jeopardy, a pretty common game show, seen as like a white thing? I mean, I guess it is, but at the same time, like, bruh, what do you want to do, like Hood Jeopardy? I'll take J's for 900. I'll take Zaza Strains for 300.
And paints his life a 500 days of summer shade of mope because the whole world loves him the least. White Boy is glad Green Book won the Oscar and not glad that Trump is the president. Not glad, but safe. Happy to know he will not have to live in a world where white people are the minority. White Boy says, aren't you white? White Boy says he knows all about—
White Boy says, aren't you white? But like, again, you haven't even addressed any of his grievances or concerns. Like, are you not white? I don't even know what you are, to be honest with you. I mean, you seem kind of like gingerbread colored, which is fine, but at the same time, like, that doesn't insinuate that you aren't of the same creed as this white boy who is so bad, apparently. And again, like, you'd think if this is a diss track on a particular person, like a white boy, none of these things are even that bad. Like, are we gonna get to the part where he, like, you know... are we gonna get to the part where he does like a Diddy moment on you? Like, what are we getting at? Like, okay, white boy's whack. Like, he likes Jeopardy. Are you in Jeopardy? Did he put you in Jeopardy? It doesn't seem like it.
White Boy listens to indie music and paints his life a 500 days of summer shade of mope.
Okay, but that's not even like the whitest thing ever. Like, I know indie music is generally Caucasian, or it's gentrified or whatever the hell, but he's not listening to like Excision or like heavy dubstep. Dude's not at the bus stop banging Skrillex so loud that even the homeless people have something to say. You know it's bad when a homeless guy who reeks of garbage and the entire town is aware of his presence due to his soul scent gets up and says something to you because your music is so loud. He's not that white, I'll tell you that.
White Boy says, aren't you white? White Boy says he knows all about brown people because of all the Spanish girls he's dated. Says real tacos have radishes on them. Says horchata is Mexican titty milk. And I'm like, damn, I wish my titties were full of horchata.
What the fuck just happened? Does anyone know what just happened? What the hell in front of my very eyes, I literally watched the bitterness and hatred and general discontent wash out of her body the moment she notioned titty milk. So is the end of racism just boobs? Is this what's happening?
I wish my titties were full of horchata.
What the fuck is even happening at this point? Is that like are you writing hand on the Bible? Like, is that a wish? Where you put, wish that upon a star? If that's something you'd like, then I guess, you can have that wish, but then you rope white boy into this as if he did something to prevent that from happening. I'm sure he wants the same thing. You guys are on the same team this whole time. What's the problem here?
Or maybe I don't, because white boy would just set me up at a hipster cold brew coffee shop somewhere and start turning a profit while I bust my horchichis in another episode of cultural appropriation at its finest.
That's the most genius business model I've ever heard, and then you just spit it out to the masses. They're gonna steal your secret sauce. I've seen videos where people go to the Starbucks barista and ask for a quote-unquote special order. You know, it's something pretty depraved. Usually they'll ask for the girl to spit in their latte, or in some cases, the dudes with the fattest balls and abnormal cysts on their testicles ask for something like, you know, a squeeze of double D breast milk into their latte. Of course, always while filming, you don't want to get the reaction with no content, you know, no camera on. But honestly, if you're willing and able, then let's make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, let's get cracking here. This is a $1 million business idea. Cultural appropriation. Like, bro, you have an idea. Let's make some money.
White boy thinks my brown mouth is dirty with every flip of my chingona tongue and every fuck you shouted at the orange TV, pendejo.
Okay, but like, you just complain about him watching Jeopardy and interacting with the TV to play a fucking harmless quiz. Meanwhile, you're gonna get mad at him calling you dirty when you scream at your fucking TV whenever Trump is on. Like, yeah, that's kind of cringy. When he's there like, ooh, I got it right, Eureka! And then you're like from the fucking other room screaming alone at Trump on the TV when you could easily change the channel and be playing the same game as him. I don't know, seems like you're kind of bitter.
My brown mouth, my brown friends, my brown life is dirty when I tell him.
My brown life? What the fuck is that? My brown... I've never heard anyone say that. Like, I get what she's saying, but I've never referred to my life as my white life. I've literally called my life my stupid fucking chungus life. Fair enough, I guess. If that's how you want to live, then that's how you want to live.
That I am tied to this land, to my native Aslan tongue and the red dirt in my teeth. White boy responds by texting me a picture of a cartoon Pocahontas, naked ass out, standing next to John Smith, who is holding a looped belt.
I'm pretty sure we call those memes. You ever heard of them? You familiar with the format where it's a cartoon character doing something provocative? I've seen a minion hail Hitler. Have you seen like Alvin and the Chipmunks Rule 34? It's out there. I haven't seen it. Maybe I have. No one knows. Speaking of Alvin and the Chipmunks, what do I have on the screen right now? Was that too far? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
White boy says JK. LOL. White boy thinks it'd be kinky if I said colonize me daddy right before he comes. White boy tells me this in a Tinder message, tells me he does not believe in privilege, meaning it is not a privilege to love me, not a privilege to hold me or fuck me or whisper in my...
In no way is it a privilege to do any of this. The reason I'm watching this right now and enduring the gritting sound of your voice is because it gets my wallet fatter, okay? My wallet needs to be like afraid of Ozempic. It needs to be terminally pro-body positivity. Enduring this makes my paycheck guaranteed, and it's not a privilege to hear what you have to say in any capacity.
White boy just expects these things, just like his ancestors did.
Are you serious right now? So let me get this straight. Because he wants a response from you on fucking Tinder, that's equivalent to Christopher Columbus taking natives hostage? Like, actually make yourself sound less ridiculous. You're embarrassing yourself, and honestly, like, I get some of it, you know, the whole Jeopardy thing is like, oh, LOL, white people like Jeopardy, or Starbucks, oh, LOL, white people like Starbucks. But then we're getting into this whole thing where it's like, now you're talking about like racial fetishes and stuff, and at a certain point, you just gotta pack your bags and just call it quits for the night, you know? Like, just go home, tuck yourself in, buy a six-pack, and throw on some Markiplier highlights. That's all you need. That's what you need right now.
White boy says he could beat me at a job interview or a sport.
Okay, you don't beat people at job interviews. That's not a fucking thing. I beat you in a job interview. You don't beat people in a job interview. You either get the job or you don't. And also, no, he hasn't. No white person who has been trying to flirt with you or do the dirty with you has mentioned the fact that he can beat you in a job interview. How does that even come up? I'm applying for a job at Urban Outfitters. Oh, really? Me too. I bet I could beat you. What? Nonsensical. That never happened. Speaking of Jeopardy, I'll take things that never happened for 500. Oh, it's the Daily Double. Wow, what a coincidence.
Or a poetry slam. White boy says he could beat me. White boy says I don't need your consent. I'm your boyfriend. Doesn't understand the word no since he is the only one who ever gets to say it. White boy tastes like expensive toothpaste and entitlement. His favorite movies are The Social Network and American Psycho.
I'm sorry, but these movies are objectively good. Like, I get that they're stereotypical and like Sigma edit movies, but Rotten Tomatoes which is heavily biased towards certain pieces of media. Like, I mean, bro, it's a good movie. It's critically acclaimed. The Social Network is a banger. American Psycho is a banger. What is your favorite movie, dude? You like the Emoji Movie? Hi, I'm an emoji. I remember watching that one. Wasn't fun. Wasted my time.
Tells me about the way bunny rabbits are calmed to stillness and forced to trust just before someone slides the skin off their small bodies.
Side note, by the way, how do you feel after you're on stage and then you walk off stage? Like, isn't there like mental post-nut clarity to this? Where after you have this entire speech, you just like walk off and there's this like overwhelming silence that washes over the room that you can only internalize as like societal disapproval. Just like, oh wow, I just kind of said nonsense for 2 minutes, 56 seconds straight and basically subjected a crowd of people to this audio rape. A crowd of people to this audio pollution.
He tells me this while playing with my hair. As I am splayed across his chest, wondering why I keep making the same mistakes over and over again. He's so comfortable with the way that history keeps repeating itself, and I just want to kick and push my way out of his palms. I am all bunny rabbit, heartbeat, and sudden will to live. White boy always leaves me hoping that I won't have to run away screaming this time. Leaves me wishing that he was better than all of the men and mistakes before him, white boy says.
Why are we acting like this person bombed your entire home country? Anyone else getting that vibe of like a little bit of hysteria from this person? The worst thing I got from this guy, his biggest crime, was sending you a meme with Pocahontas that contained nudity or something. He made some sort of joke about opening a cafe where you're milked for the fucking coffee. Oh my goodness, put him in handcuffs. You need to never touch a microphone again. As a matter of fact, I think in general, if I were to run for president and have some sort of authority over the way this country is ran, you need to fill out a form and mail it to the Secretary of State. And that form is basically like permission to use a microphone. Irony check, because it's my job, I get it. But like, holy shit, this is horrible.
That he is already the best that there ever was.
Wow. Wow, and the walk-off, dude. That was really special, guys. That was a special moment. Let's read the comments. She has a white boy fetish. Thinking the same. The colonize me line told me everything. This white boy isn't real, or he's a very specific white boy. The one that broke up with her. Either this is a completely non-existent person, a figment of her imagination, like an imaginary friend who somehow dumped her in her own imagination, like an actual white boy who did nothing wrong and probably got tired of her pretty fast. She'd be cute if she didn't have the ugliest makeup possible. Hey man, I don't know if you are trying to fix her or something, but you know, last guy who tried ended up getting slammed poetry, and I'm gonna fucking slam my head against the wall, so good luck. The resentment she harbors consumes her. You can see it in her crazy eyes. She does have crazy eyes. She has the eyes that, like, you know, you walk into a bookstore and you ask someone for recommendations and you tap them on the shoulder and they turn around and they just shoot daggers into your soul with their fucking pupils. It's as if asking for a fucking book recommendation, like, invoked the name of their younger brother who was recently kidnapped by ISIS. Not to mention she's at least half white. Don't know, don't care. Got weirdly specific there. Yeah. Anybody got a lead on that expensive toothpaste? The fuck you trying to do, buddy? You trying to riz her up? Is that what you're here for? Imagine living a life that deluded and miserable. That's a choice. I mean, yeah. Dylan Francis. Don't bring Dylan Francis into this, okay? Dylan Francis makes banger music, and I don't want him involved in this atrocity, okay? Anyway, though, just a funny clip that I saw. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Follow my social medias. Links are all down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.